This is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. I hope you enjoyed this Critical Thought, your daily discussion on game design. Welcome to today's Critical Thought. As always, thank you to 925 subscribers currently here on YouTube. If you're enjoying the content for the first time, be sure to like and subscribe as we are on our way to 1,000. If you haven't done so already, be sure to vote for the next Let's Play for getting 900 subscribers. You have until November 22nd at midnight to make your choice. It's between a play of Aquaria, Fez, or Bastion. If no one breaks the tie, then I will simply make a choice for us. Today's Critical Thought is going to be a fun one. We're returning to the topic of progression, and I want to talk about a common design trap that I see developers make, and that is limiting or forced progression. And I have a few examples to talk about. If you watched the Twitch stream lately, then you know that I did a play of the indie game Cook, Serve, Delicious. It's a game I really enjoy. It's essentially almost like DDR meets cooking in a sense. And the game is really good. They're actually working on a sequel as we speak. But there's one big mark against the game, and that's the progression model. The problem is, in order to basically get new challenges and new stuff in the game, you rise up you grow your restaurant. You go from 0 star, 1, 2, 3, you get the picture. Each star has a prerequisite number of challenges or goals for you to achieve. Maybe get through 5 days of service with a perfect, earn X amount of dollars, do this really well, and so on. Now, these challenges are fun. They're meant to challenge you or force you to learn the game and grow in order to get to new stuff. That's the main element of progressing in titles. You go from easy to normal to hard. The problem with Cook, Serve, Delicious is that one of the prerequisites for each star is you must get through X amount of days of service. Now, a service in the game takes, I would like to say, 4 to 5 minutes of real time, could be a little bit more than that. And the problem with this is you can complete every one of the other prerequisites. You could be getting perfects on every day, but you're still forced to wait for the day timer to wrap up. And what that means is that both the hardcore fans and new fans, are essentially tethered to the same progression model. And that's not good, because it's going to force your hardcore fans to get bored of the game, and it's basically trying to put a square peg into a round hole. Another example, which as a funny coincidence I played the same night, was Slime Rancher, which is a casual open world sort of survival-esque game. More aimed for kids, but still a lot of fun to play. What they do is something similar. You have researches and upgrades that will improve your abilities, you gain more health, can move faster, stuff like that. And they're tied, I believe, to the amount of days of in-game time. What that means is you could unlock everything very quickly, but you still have to wait for new stuff to become unlocked and available. And again, this is a passive way of punishing expert players. Here's the golden rule of progression that, if you're taking notes, you might want to write this down. Good progression in a game should not essentially be a tether, or shouldn't be forced onto either player, on either type of player. Good progression basically allows different players to get through the game at their own pace, but they're going to get to the same position eventually. What that means is casual players shouldn't be forced into expert challenges before they're ready. Likewise, expert players shouldn't be forced to do easy stuff before the game essentially takes the gloves off. And a brilliant example of this is from the Mario Galaxy games. In the series, there is a flat star count you need to beat the game. It's the same for whoever plays the game, regardless of their skills, previous experience, etc. And as you play the game, you'll get the stars. The brilliant part of Nintendo's design is that the levels are built around different skill levels. That's why I like to call subjective difficulty. There are challenges meant for people who've mastered triple jump into a wall, jump into a spin jump, and then there are ones that are just run and do single jumps to get to the star. This is meant to provide rewards and challenges for people of different skill levels. So what happens is a casual or new player is just going to go through the game basically as fast as they can. They'll get the prerequisite number of stars in one galaxy, then they'll move to the next, and then the next, and so on. Extra players will probably, like I did, 100% each galaxy before moving on. We're going to see everything there is, move to the next. Eventually, even though the newer player is making faster in-game progress, they will eventually have to learn the mechanics and go back to other challenges or other galaxies to get the star count needed to beat Bowser. For us expert players, we're taking longer, but we're going to be able to, the second Bowser's unlocked, we can start that final battle, because we've done it all before. So the brilliant part of the progression model is we're both going to get to Bowser's final castle. We're just going to do it at different paces. And great game design, again, should not force one group of players to play at the same state as another. It's why you also have to be really careful with locking advanced challenges, or basically having your normal or starting difficulty be the scrub level or the noob level. And then no one can play the game at hard level until they beat normal. Now it's important, with that said, you can also run the trap of having, the super uber difficulty level unlocked from the start, and you're a person who's never played the game before accidentally clicks that or thinks, well, how hard could it be? And then they get killed, frustrated, and they leave. Again, you need to convey to the players about the difficulty levels and the design. Not every game can be built on subjective difficulty, like Mario Galaxy or even the Souls games. And the Souls series is another exception to these rules, because everyone is basically asked to be at the same level from the start. So if you're a master of ARPG and action games, you're going to be able to quickly get into the Souls games. If you're not, you're going to be in for a very hard time until you learn or quit. And like I said, that's not an amazing example of a progression model. Again, players are being forced to do the same things, but it is an exception to this rule. But with games like Cook Serve Delicious, Slime Rancher, or even the Mario Galaxy series, it's important that both players should be progressing at their own rate without holding back or forcing anyone else. When I played, let me see if I can come up with a quick example. I know, another good example of this would be Diablo III and how they adjusted the difficulty levels after, I think, patch 1.02. Before, everyone had to go through normal, hard, and then Inferno, whatever the final difficulty was. What they do now is say, you can pick the difficulty level that you want at any time. Harder you make the game, the more rewarding it is, and the quicker you're going to get through it. If someone is brand new to Diablo 3, they'll start at the normal difficulty level until they feel comfortable. For us crazy people who've played through hardcore seasons, we'll probably start on either Torment 1 or one level before then. And again, this is the brilliant point. No one is being forced to go either above or below their skill levels. With Cook Serve Delicious, I hope what they do with the sequel is remove the successful day prerequisite for the star challenges or for going up the progression, because it's not really an indicator of player skill. If I get through the first 5 days of service perfectly, I think I'm ready for a 2-star challenge. Don't force me to go through another 40-50 minutes of play just to get to the good stuff. Now, I know the other reason why they did that, in order to pad out the game time. But as another important rule of game design, it's better to have 2 hours of amazing gameplay than it is to have 4 hours of average. As we've seen, quality in a lot of cases will beat quantity, and players can certainly tell when you're just padding out the time or running out the clock. You're just repeating levels, repeating bosses, stuff like that, and that stuff tends to rub gamers the wrong way, because they're basically doing the same stuff over and over again, and it can become a grind. But it is Sunday evening. I can't believe it's gotten so dark already. So we'll wrap up, I think, today's critical thought in the next few minutes. Again, With a good progression model, everyone should be able to make progress at their own pace. And some of the best games that have done this are those that allow you to control the difficulty. Games like Bastion, The World Ends With You, Diablo III, and so on. I do really want to dedicate a critical thought to controlling or adaptable or adjustable difficulty, and that will have to be another critical thought. But again, as long as the player is making progress at their own rate, you know something is going right. If the player just feels like they're either wasting their time until something new happens, or they're being rushed through the game, being grabbed by their collar and pulled through, they're going to get frustrated. New players will get frustrated, hardcore players will get bored. And at the end of the day, you're going to essentially piss off both groups. And getting the progression model right like this requires a very good understanding of game design. You have to understand the baseline of what your game's going to be, and you have to figure out how to make the experience enjoyable for multiple skill groups. Again, having the ability to adjust the difficulty or allow players to progress at different rates is a good start. But this is a topic we can easily come back to for who knows how many critical thoughts. But we're going to wrap it up here for today. As always, thank you so much everyone who's enjoying these videos and the rest of the content. I'm Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com, where we examine the art and science of games. Be sure to come back tomorrow for more great content on Game Wisdom and here on the YouTube channel as well. And remember, be sure to get your vote in before Tuesday, and that will be the next Let's Play. And trust me, I have a lot more videos waiting in the backlog to get up for you folks. So, again, thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share with your friends. It always helps out. For daily posts on all manner of game design and industry topics, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the site and everything that I do, be sure to check out the Patreon campaign. If we can hit goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy, and I'll be able to support myself and my household. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at GWBycer for updates throughout the day and random thoughts from me. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch right over there at GWBycer for daily streams most nights around 10 Eastern. Thanks again for watching the video, and be sure to check out more great content coming to the Game Wisdom channel real soon.